The program you are about to hear is a production of the River's Edge Radio Network. The River's Edge can be heard 24 hours a day with the best in local Pittsburgh music at riversedgepgh.com. The River's Edge, your voice for local music. Enjoy the show. Welcome to another RiverTalk Extra here on the River's Edge Radio Network, broadcasting from Millville Studios. I'm happy to be joined by Paul Kostick, who is performing at Black Forge Coffee in Allentown, March 18th at 7 p.m. I'm Brian Crawford here in the Millville Studios. Paul, tell us a little bit about the event. I'm excited to see this. The venue is really cool. Black Forge Coffee, are you familiar with the venue?
I am not, actually. This is my first time going, so I'm super excited to see the venue.
Well, actually, just to put it out there for our audience, you thought it was in Southside, so you're really unfamiliar with the
Yes.
venue. We started this recording, and I said, oh, it's in Allentown, and Paul's like, no, it's in the Southside. I'm like, Southside? I thought it was in Allentown. And so we did the numbers, and you just can't beat the king of the Allegheny here. So it is in Allentown. It's a really cool venue, and we were talking, and I'll share this with our audience here. The Black Forge Coffee venue is really part of a revitalization project up in Allentown. They're trying to bring younger people in, they're trying to bring millennials in, and try to really spruce up the area and really make it an attractive area for younger people. So it's kind of cool to be able to play there.
Yeah.
You may not have known this, but you're playing in this revitalization effort, and it's kind of cool to add the music to Allentown, and it's really events like this at Black Forge Coffee are really what's going to bring this community up.
Yeah.
And make it really a prominent neighborhood in Pittsburgh. So that's going to be an interesting experience.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great show. So.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself as a musician. Where did you what got you on your start? What got your gears in motion?
Well, I don't know. It was weird for me. I was kind of always that kid that sang and make up my own songs when I was little, and so whenever I was about 10 or 11 years old, I started learning how to play guitar, and that was kind of my. I always wanted to sing, so that was my I guess my avenue, and that gave me the ability to do what I wanted to do, which was sing. So I played in a high school band, and I played in like a punk rock band, and we did that. And then once I hit like 17, 18, I started writing stuff that sounds familiar to what I write now. And so I just kind of went off and a bit on my own, and yeah, I mean, after high school, that's what I did. I worked a job, and I just played shows every night. And
is it hard to find shows when you get started, or is it pretty easy in this city? I feel like this city is getting easier because local music especially, is being much more accepted, especially original music. That's one thing that's cool about Pittsburgh is the original music is really embraced, instead of shunned like a lot of places where they just want to hear the same songs over and over and over again.
Yeah, it wasn't super hard because honestly in this city, if you find open mics and you go and you play, you start to meet people, and it's just really easy to get shows out of that. So you go and you talk to people and you network, and then next thing you know, you're playing shows with all those people. So
yeah, and you're performing this week before Katie Joy. That she's the headlining musician here at the event. What can you tell me about Katie?
Not really a whole lot. I guess I haven't met her in person yet. I've just been listening to her stuff online, and she sounds awesome. So I know that she just released a new EP. So I think it's called Talking to Myself, I believe. So yeah, go check that out if you're listening. And yeah, I'm really excited to meet these people. I think it's always great to meet other musicians that kind of seem to be in the same genre as you. A lot of times I'm a bit like too poppy for a lot of venues around here, and I think that this is a good fit for me. This lineup and this show. So
yeah, and speaking of EPs, you are working on your own. You've been
yes.
you've been doing some recording with our friends at Grandma House Audio.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give us any spoilers on the EP, or even just what we should look forward to there?
It's 4 songs. There are 2 brand new songs on the EP, and then there's 2 others that I've been playing for a little bit but haven't recorded or anything. So if you have seen me live around the city, you might recognize a couple of them. And then there's 2 others that are kind of just, brand new. And yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited to get these out. It's been a while since I've released a bigger project than one song at a time, So.
What's it like working with Moose? We've had him on the show. He's a good friend of the network. He must be. I imagine he's a good guy to work with.
Oh, he's so easy to work with. We just we get along really well. Really easygoing guy. We just he's super easy to work with. Honestly, you bring him ideas, and he always has super great input and very encouraging guy. So. When you work with him, you really feel comfortable, and you're not, there's no nerves really in his studio. It's just very.
Is the studio
very
still in Grandma's house?
Yes.
It is, okay. So what's the studio like? Paint a picture, because a lot of times the house studios are the most interesting.
Yeah, so when I first met Josh, like 5 years ago or so, I recorded there, and at that time it looked like a house, in the studio, and it's like in this basement, and it looked like a basement at that time, but and I didn't really know who he was yet, and he came in and he introduced me, and we listened, and he was showing me stuff he was working on. I was just blown away by how talented he was. So, and then 5 years later, now, I mean, it doesn't look like a basement at all. It's super. It's really awesome look. I mean, his control room is really great. The live room is really looking awesome. I mean, he's repainted. He has a bunch of new, there's artwork up. There's, tons of new equipment. I mean, the place just, it looks awesome, and it sounds awesome too, so.
It's amazing how things can transform so quickly.
Yeah.
You were at the one-year party. You heard the intro to the RiverTalk Extra that was recorded there, and all of the different clips of how awful the old studio was for us, and it's amazing how things can just transform, overnight. So really,
it's incredible how that happens. I mean, where there's will, there's a way, and that's probably an overused statement, but honestly, if you have the talent, you have the drive, stuff happens.
What did you think of the one-year party? What were your thoughts? You got to perform there. It was kind of an interesting venue. I think we probably have one of the most unique venues in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool. I was really blown away. I thought there were a ton of people here, just coming out and supporting it, and that was really encouraging. I'm sure for you guys.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And for I think us musicians, and showing up and just playing and being able to hang out with other people and get to meet people and see what's going on here. And the venue's super cool. I mean, it's an art gallery outside. So, I mean, it just makes you kind of feel...
Yeah, we were lucky too, because 2 of the artists actually showed up, and people were able to talk with the artists and find out what they were doing, especially the one guy with the puppet work who is right here next to our studio.
Yeah.
And it was really an interesting piece of art, and I think it was a lot of extra added value to have him there to be able to talk about what he's doing. The other artist, she actually gave out free wine, which was pretty cool. But it was neat. And actually, the guy with the puppet stand, he actually created his own event that coincided with ours to try and bring some of his own friends in and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And I think it's a neat mix. I like the mix of art and music. I always appreciated that blending of the two art forms, because really music is an art form in and of itself. What did you think of the switching between the podcasts and the music? Do you think that was a neat idea, or do you think that was kind of awkward?
I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, because, especially, I'm not someone who typically listens to a whole lot of podcasts, and for me that was just really cool because I was able to see, I guess, live how that happens and what's going on. And it was also really cool to see the people doing the podcasts, like watching them interact with everybody and how they did react to that. I thought was a really cool experience. So
yeah, and we were lucky because even like some of the band members who didn't even perform showed up for the event. Turnpike Garden showed up, for example. They came to support There You Are. There's a big connection between them. And Todd from the Dogwires was there as well. And I know you know them because I saw you at their EP party, so I'm wondering where the connection is between you and the Dogwires.
I met them, I don't know if you remember this place. There was an open mic hosted by a guy named Henry Kostick. And it was at the Eclipse Lounge in Lawrenceville.
Okay, yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
So that's where
it was a cool place, but I couldn't go in there because they had a perfume or something that was in the air, and I'm allergic to everything that smells. So I had to go outside if I went there.
Yeah, they had like incense burning all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with that.
It was
a really cool venue though.
Yeah, super cool venue, and the people were so inviting. That was really my favorite open mic in the city. Just because, it didn't really feel like there wasn't any kind of weird competition. I mean, people were just showing up and having fun. And
yeah, sure.
So that's how I met Todd, and then I met Oliver there. Those are really the only two members I know of the Dogwires.
Yeah, there's three. Paul's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know those two from the clips, but I haven't met Paul.
Okay. So you guys just kind of like jammed together there?
Yeah, we just met there and hung out, and yeah.
That's cool, yeah. Another really great band. You can hear them on the River's Edge as well as you, Paul, 24 hours a day at riversedgepgh.com and on the Tunein Radio app. And I am going to take this moment to plug something on the Tunein Radio app for those of you listening or watching here on the video. Whenever you open your app and you look at the artist that is shown, that is playing, you can actually click, get it on Google Play, and purchase someone's music right there. So support your local artists using the Tunein Radio app when you're listening to the River's Edge. Bringing things back to the event that is March 18th at Black Forge Coffee at 7 p.m. You said, we talked off air about Drew Zimmerman. He is the one who's putting this together, you said, correct?
Yes.
And he is a member of August Winters who's performing as well. He's actually played live on RiverTalk before.
Okay.
He's been on here as well. How did you meet up with him? He's really involved in the scene, but he's from State College. It's always interesting to me. He's so involved in the Pittsburgh scene and everything that's going on in Pittsburgh, but he manages to do that living in State College and is just back and forth all the time. Did you just meet him at a show, or did he reach out to you?
He reached out to me over social media, and that's how I met him. Pretty sure I met him through somebody. This is terrible, but I don't entirely remember how I met him. But I know that he reached out to me, and like a few months ago, this show was actually postponed. It was supposed to be, I think, in January, February, and then after, like, something happened with a venue, and it just got messed up. So then we ended up pushing it to here, to next week, March 18th. So, yeah, that's how I met Drew. He just found me on social media, I guess.
Yeah, it's amazing how he's able to get everything together. He's in a million places between what he's doing down at State College, what he's doing with his own band, what he's doing here in Pittsburgh. He books a lot of shows at the Hard Rock Cafe, which is pretty cool. So what's next for you after March 18th, 7 p.m., Black Forge Coffee in Allentown? What's next?
Well,
you got the EP, we mentioned that.
Yeah, so that's kind of my main focus right now. I haven't been in really much of a rush to get everything done. I just kind of want to make sure it's done right, and I want to get it to a point where everybody can have it and enjoy it. And so at this point, the music is done, and it's kind of sitting there, so that drives me crazy. I want people to hear it.
Yeah, sure.
But right now I'm working on getting the cover art and all of that stuff done, all of that vain stuff.
How long does it take to put together an EP? What's the process? Does it take months?
Yeah, I mean, some people do it really fast. Like Moose, for example, Josh at Grandma's house. He's he's actually working on his right now for his new project, Life is Short, and like he's getting his done pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, for this one, I had the songs like written, but there's a particular song on the album, on the EP that actually wasn't finished. I wasn't done writing it when I started, and so it was an interesting experience for me because this time I was actually writing in the studio while working on it.
Oh wow!
And I've never done that before.
Talk about cramming. It's like cramming before a test, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, it was a really cool experience, and I'm glad we did it like that because it kind of brought something else out of me that I usually do. Like usually I'm very prepared with it all, and we have it all ready before we start. And this time it kind of really brought a lot of extra creativity out.
That's what I was just I was just thinking, because you're kind of forced to think on the fly, and it changes your thinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
Yeah, like that, and you just, we bring in a great team of other musicians, and they help us out, and...
See, I wish I was more like you. That's my thing. Like, you said that you usually have everything planned out, and everything's kind of in order. I'm somebody where, especially when I'm writing a story, we used to do a segment on the show, and I'm hoping to bring it back in some form. I kind of went to the wayside because I got so busy with work, working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and everything else. But I want to bring it back. We did RiverTalk used to be a Monday night show. And because it was Monday night and we ended around 10 p.m., people were going to bed, so we ended the show on a bedtime story, with a bedtime story. And it was an original story that I would write each week. I would write up, a little, not even, I wouldn't even call it a short story. It was a very, very brief story.
Yeah.
But it was, about Pittsburgh things. We had The Berg Zone, where it was kind of a spoof of The Twilight Zone, or Tom Chorba from There You Are. He actually, he was a character in one of the reoccurring shows. He was the anti-cyclist, which was a spoof of Knight Rider, where he was, he was the cyclist that was the exception that proves the rule, and he was out there trying to fight off, bad cyclists who were breaking the law and things like that. So we had all sorts of weird stories that we would tell. And I'm somebody where I'll think about it, and I'll think about it, and I'll think about it, and it's literally not until a half an hour to an hour before the show that I finally get it on paper, because it's just when I'm forced to do it, I get it out, but until then it's just brewing in my head, much like the great coffee you can get at Black Forge Coffee. Saturday, the 18th at 7 p.m. So it's brewing in my head just like a good cup of coffee until it finally just comes out.
Yeah.
And I just wish I was like you and I could be prepared and just get things out there, but it's not my style. I just can't get it done that way.
Yeah, I mean, most things, I'm not the most organized person, but when it comes to music and writing, I'm usually, I take a while to write stuff, so I'll take my time and I'll just kind of live with songs. So, a lot of the songs you'll hear, I was actually sitting on for months. I would write a chorus this month, and then a few months later I'd be like, oh, that's a cool idea, and then I'd throw it into the song, and then a few months later, then I'd finally finish it. It was definitely an interesting experience writing in the studio and kind of finishing stuff up. So I'm really excited about this one.
Definitely. Don't forget to check out Paul Kostick. He's going to be performing with a bunch of people, but he's going to be performing before Katie Joy, and it's going to be at Black Forge Coffee, March 18th at 7 p.m. Also, don't forget to catch RiverTalk this Monday, 6 to 8 a.m., where we are going to have guest Zach Fell. He's the station manager of 91.9 WCAL and the founder of Heavy Metal Monessen. We are presenting Heavy Metal Monessen here at the River's Edge Radio Network. Heavy Metal Monessen will be Saturday, April 23rd at the Monessen City Amphitheater. There's going to be 2 stages. The second stage is actually going to be the River's Edge stage down there at the amphitheater. So check out riversedgepgh.com, powered by NJL WebTech, for all of the information leading up to the festival, all of the great interviews with the people involved and the bands performing at the event. And then also this week on RiverTalk we have a great band out in Johnstown called Cats in Congress. They're going to be on with us as well, so we're going to learn a little bit about them, and we're going to convince them to join the network so you can hear their music 24 hours a day, as well as Paul Kostick, as well as the Dogwires, as well as a bunch of other great bands here in Pittsburgh. Till then, stay tuned. 24 hours a day, local music. Pittsburgh's voice for local music. River's Edge Radio Network. Thanks, Paul.